Dyno Bob here. I'd like to talk about the fuel pump in your SVT Cobra. These fuel pumps, they're good for 450 rear wheel horsepower, running it wide open for a pretty good distance of time. But once you modify your car, you get up to that 500 mark, especially even above that, it's really time to get the fuel head out of that car. And what we'd like to do is we want to remove the check valve. And what the check valve is, it's this white piece right here. And what that does, that holds pressure. When you turn the key off, you're holding pressure on the fuel injector. So when you go back to start the car, it starts boom in a moment. But with that out, it starts in a half a second. You really not notice the difference. But what happens inside this is restricted to about the size of the BB. And when you need fuel volume, you can see pressure and still run out of volume. And that's what happens with these cars in 5th and 6th gear wide open. You'll hear people talk about that on the forums, and they have a lot of engine failures at those moments. It's because of that. It's because of the restriction. So once you take the fuel head out, definitely you're going to want to change the pumps. So I use Dyno pumps. They have the highest flowing compact pump on the market. And what's nice about that, they make a pump that actually clips into your wiring harness. So there's no mods there. So it clips right in, and the new kits, which we got one today, actually sends a PEX hose with band clamps. So that's way better than a submergible hose. And if you use a submergible rubber hose, it's best to use a band clamp. If you get a screw clamp and you get into that rubber, it's going to deteriorate. So what we do is we'll take this apart and we'll use the Y that's in here. So your pumps are coming out of the top, and they're going to Y into this check valve. So we're going to, put the new pumps in. It's going to look just like factory into the Y. Then we're going to run one hose out to the exit with a deleted, as you see, check valve. Also, the fuel filters come with the kit. They're going real nice. One other tip I can say when you do this, if you look at the exit line on this hat, they call this a fuel hat, it's pinched over, like how they made it, and since flows, I like to drill that out. It inhibits flow quite a bit. So if you could drill that out, that's pretty nice. Get this together, and then you'll be in good shape. I prefer this over a booster pump. I know a lot of guys use the booster pumps. I get a lot of them in here. Once in a while you see one maybe work, but how they like to wire those skinny belt booster pumps is they'll just wire them so they have like 4 more volts all the time to shoot pressure that away. I really prefer to run the car as it was built from Ford and just run the bigger liters per hour pumps. And these pumps here flow like 365 liters per hour at 30 pounds and like 320 at 50 pounds. And that's what your car does. It runs at 30, 38 pounds, and when you go to boost, the fuel pump driver jacks the pressure up on the pumps to make it up when you add the boost, and then you hit the boost, the fuel pressure goes up, and there you go. That's how Ford designed it. So we're just running bigger pumps, better flowing filters, and taking out the restriction. So, and I've also found that, I modify injectors. We talk about that a lot. I can modify those injectors about 75, close to 80 pounds, to where you could run a 50-50 mix of E85, like half E85, half 93. So that's kind of neat, but you got to go to 2 pumps. So I just want to discuss this, and I know a lot of people call, they read on my forum about these pumps, and I keep preaching how critical it is. When you're over 500 rear wheel, if you're going to do more than an 8-mile run and wide open, you have to address this. It has to be done. It's just one of those things. It's got to be. And it really isn't too hard to get out. You just drop the tank, but you can half drop it and lean it towards the driver's side, get your arm in there, get it out, call Dyno. You get a set of pumps for that if you're comfortable. I think we charge, I don't know if it's $595. You'll have to look on the new website on the pricing, but it's $500 or $600. You'll have to check it out. But that includes like the whole build with the pumps and that thing. But the exact pricing will be up shortly. And so I just wanted to let you in. We've been making a few videos, and this is one I wanted to cover, since I had this pump here. So, till next time,